Happy Fulfillment Friday. Jonathan Gray with Level Up Alliance. Today we're going to talk about freedom. We'll call it Freedom Friday also. So, what is the most free you've ever felt in your life? Imagine it. Allow yourself to really go back to a time when you felt completely free. Just liberated. Present and peaceful, joyful, happy, inspired. Maybe it was sometime today, this morning. Maybe it was yesterday. Maybe it was this week or sometime in your life. Most of the time, we get stuck thinking about other things that don't make us feel so good. And we tend to take a lot of the world's problems on our shoulders, and we tend to also take other people's things on and or our own. We magnify our problems by focusing on them. So today we're going to talk about a really simple and powerful way to level up our energy that is really easy and everybody has access to it, and it's the most powerful form of energy that we can leverage and welcome into ourselves. And I'm going to go with this with an acronym. And the word is faith. Oh. So faith. What is faith? Let's talk about a story about faith. I remember reading about and seeing a video about a lady who had terminal cancer. She had done all the Western applications to try to heal it. She also did all of the Eastern applications to try to heal it, except for one. And she still hadn't given up hope. Of course, hope is leading us to a deepening of faith. So it's things that we hope for, and yet we don't always have evidence that they'll come true. That's one layer of understanding faith. So this lady, she traveled into the remote mountains of Tibet, and she got a chance to meet with some Tibetan monks. And she still had faith. She had the hope that led her to, that came from a place of faith. And what she did is she listened to every word that they said. Changed her eating, her thinking, her drinking, her movement. And had faith that this process and the people that were going to be administering this Qigong, medical Qigong, that they were really going to help her. She was calling upon the energies, the higher realms, as were they, to be able to heal her. Healing is a spiritual thing, and we all have that ability to do that. To heal. Our body is amazing when we give it what it needs, including all the things I just mentioned that she was expected and asked to do, and that she willingly committed to doing. She devoted herself to this process. So whenever she actually came to the 3 months, they got together, and this golf ball sized tumor was evident. You can look at this on YouTube even. Actually, you'll see this in the email that I'm sending, so you can see for yourself. Golf ball sized tumor, they were able to see that with an x-ray. And as they were working on her, they all had an intention, and they started working, and they used the power of sound and chanting and faith. 2 practitioners along with her, actually 3 practitioners along with herself. And you could see this golf ball sized mass just breaking down. It's kind of like what they made the noise of anyway. You could see it breaking down until eventually it was gone. Many would call this a miracle. And there's so many miracles that I know that we've all experienced, whether ourselves firsthand or people that we know firsthand have experienced miracles. That comes from a place of faith. Going back to what we spoke on last week, life mastery, spiritual or energetic realms are the highest realms. Love, gratitude, those frequencies are higher than most, or than any. Peacefulness, the neutral field, might be above it, and we pull from that in the manifest world. Then mental, emotional, and physical. So the most important thing that we could do is ask for those realms, the higher realms, our highest self even, our soul, Holy Spirit, God, Christ, whatever angels or guides you feel compelled to ask for support, the universe. And when we call from those things and we have faith, then we can literally move mountains, especially when we do it together. So I made an acronym out of faith, and there's a couple activities in the email that you'll be able to go back to and complete if you so wish. So what is the F for faith? It's faith over fear. Fear is an interesting thing. We can have a lot of different types of fears. They manifest in fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of rejection, so many other things that really just come down to us focusing on or not drawing attention to and shifting our energy. Focusing on something on a lower realm, thought or emotion, or the unconscious doing that on our behalf. So how do we shift from faith, our fear, to faith? Well, we can literally just have that faith. We don't really know. These are things that we cannot understand in our logical, intellectual mind. We can tap into it, the intelligent heart, with our intuition. We can tap into it with our deeper knowing. And so when we do that, and we give up our worries, we give up our anxieties, we give up the stress that comes from the unknown or the fear, and we give that up and we allow for God or whatever it is that you call the highest of high to take that from us, which it's a willing endeavor, then it literally can be gone that easy. If there's other things that are getting in the way, then maybe we can turn fear into fascination. In other words, have curiosity. Where is this coming from? And be able to learn a lesson from it. Ask more questions. And, that's also actually the next letter, A. So moving into A. Ask. Ask and it is given. This is a promise. It's made in the Bible and in other understandings. And the Bible, again, it's not a religious thing. It's something that also has science in it. You can look this up in the Bible code as an example. YouTube that if you're interested. So it's pure language. And so when we ask, then we are able to receive. And knowing that when we ask and having that faith that it will manifest, knowing that the patience part is what our mind is being asked to do. Ask and it is given. However, it does take sometimes that inspired action and some divine timing, right? So asking and listening is another part of that. Asking and really allowing that stillness in the space for us to receive the answers from a deeper part of ourselves and or the higher realms. Our higher self, even. So I. What is the I? It's I am. One of the ways that God came and actually presented himself, and this again is open to interpretation, but from my own experience, I've seen this happen and felt the energy behind it. I am that I am. You can also YouTube this and look up a lot of information on it. It's really empowering. I am, and whatever we say after I am, be aware of that because it is a powerful way of saying this is literally what I am and it's drawing it into our lives. So I am love. I am peace. I am trust. I am confidence. I am empowered. I am powerful. I am joy. I am bliss. I am inspiration. All of these, any word, pick out one that it really stands out for you in your life right now. I am love. I am. And close your eyes and breathe it as you feel it until you actually do feel it. Say it over and over again. It's a really powerful experience. And in fact, we can do that right now. So closing your eyes if you'll join me. Breathing into the heart. A little slower and a little longer than usual. a little deeper. Every breath feeling a little bit more relaxed. And allow whatever comes up, whatever you feel deepest within you, I am, whatever word you're calling in and choosing to embody. I'm going to say, I am love. And you say within your head, whatever it is you're feeling compelled toward. I am love. I am. I am love. I am. I am love. I am. Continue repeating yours in your head or out loud. Now coming back to your body, feeling the blood flow. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. This is an exercise you can go back to anytime, of course. So moving on to the next. T for trust. Trust has so many layers, and it starts with trusting source, trusting that there is a divine design. We can see this in the Fibonacci swirl in our fingers. We can see it in the patterns in flowers. We can see it in the way that trees communicate, in the way that water always flows back to the one. We can see how stars cluster. We can see in sacred mathematics and sacred geometry. We can see it in sound and cymatics. We can experience it in the ways that we actually feel connected to things that we might not completely understand or haven't heard before, but there's like a remembering, there's a connection to it. So trusting that there is this God or the universe that is it's loving. And then, of course, trusting ourselves and in our strengths, our gifts, our skills, our talents, and in our abilities, in our mission, our passion, what we're here for. Trusting in each other, that we can actually support one another, that we team up together, and that in that, it's so much more powerful. Now moving on to the last is H, healing or healed. So when we have faith, we are healed. So we can ask as an example for forgiveness. We can say we're sorry, ask for forgiveness, feel the gratitude of that forgiveness, and then insert in that blank canvas a new agreement, new intention, a new way of being that will replace the old. This is forgiveness at its best. It is an art. Despacho is one way of looking at this. Ho'oponopono. There's different ways that we can go through the art of forgiveness. There's also just literally praying to God or Christ, the universe, whatever it is that, again, you feel connected to. And having that faith that when we are asked for forgiveness, it's immediately forgiven. And then asking, even before we ask for forgiveness, feeling maybe the pain if we feel called or compelled, saying sorry, maybe looking at ourselves in a mirror or someone else, and then vice versa, turning it around and seeing other people ask for forgiveness from us. So these are different ways that we can ask for forgiveness, and we then can eventually give that and really feel the emotion of it as we feel the release. So we can do that immediately when we practice faith as its highest form, and of course in the human form if we're having some mental blocks or things that keep us from doing that, we can also go into our own emotional body and clear out in different ways in that manner. So I hope that this is helpful, and I really appreciate everybody and where you're at. I appreciate you and your journey again, and feeling that fulfillment of coming through and feeling that faith and having such a beautiful week, having such a beautiful day, celebrating our wins, celebrating this moment, and being in awe once again and in every moment that we can remember. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and we'll see you next week.